Why did the Liberty Bell 7 sink in the ocean? Was it mechanical failure or human error? Let's find out. The Liberty Bell 7 mission, with astronaut Gus Grissom at the helm, was the second manned Mercury mission by NASA. Launched on July 21, 1961, it aimed to build on the success of Alan Shepard's flight and take another leap for America in the space race. The mission goals were to test the spacecraft's capabilities, ensure the astronauts' safety, and gauge how well someone could handle spaceflight conditions. The launch was smooth, with the Redstone rocket boosting Grissom into space without a hitch. He spent just over 15 minutes in suborbital flight, experiencing weightlessness and running some quick checks on the capsule's systems. For the Liberty Bell 7 mission, NASA tried something new, an explosive hatch on the Mercury capsule. This was meant for quick and easy escapes if things went south. Before, astronauts had to climb through a bulky antenna compartment. That was slow and just not practical, especially if they were hurt or knocked out. So, engineers came up with the explosive hatch. It had 70 titanium bolts with weak spots built in. A plunger inside or a lanyard outside could set off a mild explosion which blew the bolts and popped off the hatch real fast. After Liberty Bell 7 splashed down in the ocean, things got pretty wild for astronaut Gus Grissom. Almost immediately, the hatch blew open prematurely, which wasn't supposed to happen yet. This sudden opening caused water to start flooding into the capsule. To make matters worse, Grissom's spacesuit began filling up with water, which is far from ideal when you're bobbing in the ocean. Meanwhile, the recovery helicopter had its own struggles. The weight of the waterlogged capsule made it nearly impossible to lift, so the crew had to make a tough call and eventually let it sink to the bottom of the ocean. Grissom was rescued, but Liberty Bell 7 was lost to the deep. There's a lot of back and forth about why the hatch of the Liberty Bell 7 capsule blew open early. The big debate is whether it was a mechanical failure or if Grissom himself accidentally triggered it. Those who argue for a mechanical glitch say that some external factor tripped the hatch's explosive bolts, causing it to open prematurely when it wasn't supposed to. On the flip side, others think Grissom might have panicked and hit the button himself. Interestingly, one key point against the human error theory is that Grissom didn't have any telltale bruises on his hand. Normally, hitting that button would leave a pretty noticeable mark because of the force required. The absence of a bruise leans the argument towards some kind of mechanical issue rather than human error. But like all good debates, this one still got people firmly planted on both sides. On July 20, 1999, exactly 30 years after the Apollo 11 moon landing, a team finally pulled the Liberty Bell 7 capsule from the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. They'd been trying since the early 90s without much luck. It was a massive effort and involved some seriously deep sea diving, nearly 16,000 feet down. Once they got it onto the recovery ship, they found all sorts of cool stuff inside, like part of the astronauts' flight gear and even some Mercury dimes that had been taken to space as souvenirs.